All right, welcome back. All right, welcome back. Whether in depth. Let me make sure everything's working. 1 second. If you guys are new, please like and subscribe as we're going to be taking a look at the tropics. Some interesting latest data I want to mention to you guys. Just give me a second. Alright. Alright. Just getting some things ready here, you guys. Hope you guys understand the waiting. Alright, welcome back, Weather Kingdom. Alright, let's take a look. How are we doing already? Alright, we already got 12 people here. What is good? What is good? What's up, Void? Sorry if I was not reading your guys' messages. We are going to be taking a look at the Atlantic. I know we are in the waitings of it. What's up, Carlos? What's up, Simpson? Convection looking juicy. Yeah, there is some interesting details I want to take a look at here. Where is the low-level center developing? Because we got some interesting data. You know, I know that all the models right now want a... So basically, what's really interesting to me is we have... This is a pretty large wave. When we take a look at the satellite, this is a wave from about up here. And there's a broad vorticity actually all the way down here. And as doing good, thank you, you're fine. Thank you, appreciate it. So one thing is very interesting. What is up, Kent? That I'm watching is this right here. We're actually gonna change the color here. We're gonna put it in blue. It's generally right here. Okay, this is the southern portion of the wave. And I've been watching this in the last little bit, is, okay, where is this going to consolidate? Because I know some of the models have it consolidating up here. Big time convection is going to develop up here. And this is kind of going to move like out to sea like this. But has anyone thought, hey, what's up, LW? One very interesting thing I'm very interested is, do we get, you know, if this convection persists and the dryer to the north kind of cuts this piece out, do we get the wave to consolidate further south? Okay, that's an interesting question that I honestly want to take in real detail here, because this is some pretty good convection on the southern side of this wave. And let's just take a look at the short. Also, if you guys do want to donate, I do already have a goal. And also, if you guys are new, please like and subscribe. So this is the satellite imagery. And you guys can tell here is we have a wave from here to actually all the way down here of vorticity. My question is, with the models forecasting a wave to develop about 16 north, does this actually develop further south on the wave and the initializing position changes by tomorrow? It's something to keep an eye. I'm not saying that we're going to see a major shift to the west and south, but to me it's a little interesting because when we play this through, you could tell it's pretty interesting. We definitely have some interesting data here. So basically what I notice here is we do have some low-level clouds spinning up down here. Also, thank you, Swimson, with the $10 donation. Very greatly appreciate it. You're awesome. You didn't have to. Very greatly appreciate it with the $10 donation already. You guys are awesome. You guys have been very great. You could tell, let's get back into this, but you could tell there is still a spin, a broad spin generally in this area here. And I'm very interested on what's going to happen is, are we going to see already development out of this? So there's that broad, this kind of gets spinning back in here. Looks like a little bit in there. There's a bit of interesting. What I'm very interested of, I want to take this a little bit slower. I want to go in frame by frame. So you could tell there is, yeah, like my question is, do we get a low-level center? So basically, the wave is generally like this right now. And my question is, does this wave develop on this part of the axis? Okay. Right now, my initial thinking is possibility as a yes. Because, also, if you guys are new, please like, because we got 25 people watching. That's a very interesting thing. Does the wave develop further south? Because that could change the positioning. Also, why do I believe that could happen is, when we take a look here, I want to take a look at the college weather due page. They actually show you guys the water vapor, and I want to show you guys the dry air, because what I'm thinking that I want to watch this in the next couple hours especially is with that wave. So let's go into regionals. Let's go actually view global. My question is, this is upper level. Okay, so this is the upper level. Is you guys see how this tropical wave is developing? There is a upper level vorticity right here, and it's actually bringing dry, stable air to its north right here on the upper levels. You can actually see it pretty well. Also, definitely LC is going to be south. Yeah, that's the original thinking. There is some dry air that's going to be actually going on the northern. It's between this axis here is, when we take a look at this, is does the wave, where does it develop along these three lines? Basically, the models prefer that this is going to wrap up to its north and stay out to sea. And I still think this is going to move out to sea. But my question is, if this convection persists, do we see a new low-level center that creates a low pressure down here? Because that will better itself in the environment, also strengthens a little bit faster, and also make this move a little bit more south than expected. That's a question that I am watching as this develops. Also, we are watching a second wave behind it that the National Hurricane Center has tagged. Nothing too much. I'll take a look at that after we take a look at 92L and generally the tropics. Also, the low level. This is the low level. This is what I want to also take a look at the mid level. So this is the mid level here. And the mid levels are not too bad. There is definitely, when we take a look at the dry air here, there is a upper level dry air features generally moving out ahead of this system here. And that's actually going to help to persist thunderstorms from forming on the northern side. That's why I'm very skeptical about this northern side. There is thunderstorm convection moving north towards this part of the low, because you can tell there is actually, before, was some banding features that started to develop. What I think is going to happen is this potential area is going to kind of move within the convection and meet itself in the middle and kind of rotate itself. There is definitely some dry air out ahead of this. How does the environment in the upper levels look also? Is when we take a look at this, there is thunderstorms breathing on this side of the storm. Also, we're starting to see a little bit of better breathing here. Also, on the southern side, a cyclonic flow, a little bit limited here still. But we are seeing a little bit better of a cyclonic flow that's actually going to help and breathe this storm out. That I'm very interested in right here. Look at that. It's a little bit limited because of that dryer to the northern side. I would like to keep an eye on the satellite in the next hour as we are streaming. Thank you for that. Let me just shoot that as a big thing. Let's take a look at the lower levels, because the lower levels is where this is a killing. Is generally the environment is conducive, but there is where this access wave is, generally from up here to all the way down here. Okay. On the northern side, there is already some more drier air that was inspected, in my opinion. So I like to keep an eye on that. Yes, it is also because of the size. But this dry air is getting pumped kind of like this. So my question is, does this convection kind of wrap around to its north, spin up into low pressure? That's a very big question that we'll have to wait and see. But I don't want to spend all night on just the satellite imagery. I want to take a look at some details and models. Yeah, the lower levels. It's not, okay, the lower levels are bad, but it's not as bad as it was with Erin. Not Erin, I mean Invest 91L. Penetrating the center. Yeah, that's another big thing. When we take a look at the current storm for Invest 92L, generally the track guidance, I want to keep an eye on this, but this is generally supposed to move north and then west-northwest in the next 3 days. Generally move pretty far north of the islands. It does have a spin on it. Yes, it does. And then pretty much it's going to go out to sea. But my question is, the cone of forecast is pretty close to Bermuda. So Bermuda is going to be something to watch. Generally, this is going to make that curve out to sea. But there's a lot of models that's probably going to get it very close. True sky. It's going to be very important on Bermuda also. I like to keep an eye on this for Bermuda with the guidance track, because this is a little bit far-fetched, but if it stays weaker, I mean, there is a lot of different outcomes. The The GEFS kind of likes a big cone of uncertainty. Generally from this to about... Yeah, this is kind of the... Yeah, there's a broad spin also that I like to keep an eye out on for. If you guys are new, please like and subscribe as we are trying to get up to 800 subscribers. We actually hit 790. Let's hit 800 subscribers tonight, you guys. Let's do it. Let's hit 800 subs tonight. Let's do it. We're 10 away, you guys. Let's do it. Smash the like button. If you guys feel free to donate, feel free. Nothing's charged. But we're just taking a look at the tropics in detail. What is going to happen? Because I know there's been a lot of questions on the second wave, the third wave. Does the model support it? Is the atmosphere even prime? Is the NJO even good? Okay, those are all questions I'm going to try and answer before I run out of energy tonight. Because eventually I will be running out of energy. That's a wide, yeah, it's pretty wide. I don't like looking at the ensembles because the GEBS kind of indicates it's generally going out to sea also. I do believe this will become our next hurricane. This will be our second hurricane of the season. Could it become major? It's possible. This is the latest tropical guidance. Generally down the road, anywhere from a Category 3 to a tropical storm. It's pretty far-fetched. It's still some uncertainty. But there is quite a few models that has it into hurricane status. So I do believe that this will become a hurricane. Okay? I do believe this will become a hurricane. How strong is it? Still up in the air. And I like to wait and see on it. Also, let's hit 20 likes. Let's do that also as a goal tonight. 20 likes also on that. Alright, so now I want to take a look at that because I don't want to stay on this. Let's take a look at some of the modeling data because modeling, there's a lot of work into the modeling. This is generally going to go out to sea, you guys, so don't think that this even has a shot against the United States. Right now, it's a pretty much a 99% it's going out to sea. But the thing is, comparing to the satellite is, there's generally a broad flow. We have a low pressure here, but we also have on the southern side of that convection. So it is a little bit interesting to me that there's a little bit of a broad. Looks like it's going to struggle in the next 72 hours, though. I agree. I think it's going to stay generally broad, but in the next 12 hours, it generally shows that convection to move north. And then generally, it's going to develop on the northern side of the wave. But let's say it develops on the southern side, right? This whole track will be moved to the south, but generally on the GFS, shows it struggling, and then kind of a repositioning of the low in the future, and then generally struggling in the next 72 hours. It has it maybe as a 40-mile-an-hour tropical storm. So I do not expect... What did you say? If you would like to donate to Weather Kingdom, you... Oh, okay. We got 35 people here. We're already crushing it. If you guys are new, please like, and let's hit up to 800 subs tonight. It'll be very greatly appreciated. Let's hit 800 subs. We're currently just taking a look at the tropical guidance. But generally in the next, even 4 days, this struggles, in my opinion. Only 1,006 in the next 4 days. And then it starts to strengthen as the environment gets a little bit better. Question is, does this move a little bit more further west? But right now on the GFS here, I mean, we got a major hurricane right there with Bermuda right in its path. Any farther southwest track, Bermuda will be in line. So Bermuda is weaker. It could go a little bit more west. Yes. Weaker. It could go a little bit more west. So it is a little bit interesting. I do not think, what I think right now will be mainly for Bermuda, because the GFS generally has it moving right in its direction at this point. I mean, this is a close call here. It is true here. I mean, look at it. We see this. It generally moves in that direction. I mean, we got Bermuda right in here. And if this moves any farther west on the GFS, this will probably get extremely close to it. No, you're good. You're good, Rainbow. You're good. Don't worry. Thank you. Very greatly appreciate that for helping. Don't worry. But, and then the GFS, I'm just taking a look at some of the model data. We're also going to take a look. What's interesting, though, it does show another piece of energy, that one coming off Africa. And a little bit more model support on that. But look at that on the GFS. A little bit more, little interesting there. I DM'd you. Okay. Look how close this gets, though. I mean, this is the GFS. And, I mean, good news, it's on its, this is a major hurricane. Bermuda is right in here. Right where I just circled. But any closer track, Bermuda could be in the path of this. Something in the back of the mind that we don't think about a lot is Bermuda. But that gets extremely close. This is likely a major hurricane at this point. On the GFS. Also, we got 40 people watching. That's awesome. We're crushing it tonight. Let me know when you text. Curious to see how the hurricane season pans out. Yeah, I agree. Huh. Let's take a look at relative. Oh, wow. Too closer comfort, Weather Kingdom for sure. Yeah. By the way, if Bermuda does get impacted, we will be live probably as long as all night. So generally in the next 48 hours, this struggles. I mean, that's why I'm very curious, does that southern side form? Because if that convection on the southern side can persist, and it can recreate its moisture bubble, this could be a whole nother outcome. Instead of looking like this could be a hurricane by this point. Yeah, very interesting stuff. And then generally it moves generally west for a bit here, and then it kind of starts to strengthen. But look at that. Once it gets closer to Bermuda, the dryer is out, and this is very close for comfort. Also, let me okay, we fixed it. I'm sorry, you guys, about that. Also, we're 10 subs away. Let's do it, you guys. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, that's why I'm very interesting. It still forms and stuff. But I do think this will form, definitely. I think my question is, does that southern piece develop? Because that southern piece could be a little bit better. And maybe the model's overestimating the dry air at this point. Because you can kind of see that all of a sudden it starts creating its moisture bubble. So I want to see what happens with it all. I don't think it's going to decline, in my opinion. But look at that. We're also watching this wave here. There is going to be a little bit of a struggle of dry air, but generally, something to keep an eye out here on that wave. It does go west. The vorticity, let's look at 850 millibars. Generally, this is also our next tropical wave that the Atlantic has tagged right here. This is number 1. This is number 2. That's why I'm very curious, because with the vorticity, I want to take a look at the current vorticity charts and see what happens there. Some interesting data, though. But it does have that vorticity kind of weakening on that second wave. We actually see a third wave to come off. But this wave kind of never gets its act going, but it does go in the Caribbean. The third wave behind it has a little bit more potential on it. So, something interesting. Also, why does the GFS has a bit of a trend here also is basically when we were looking at this a bit ago, so you can tell we have generally moved from the last few days from the GFS being all the way out here to a general westward movement. And that's actually thanks to a little bit more of a high developing on top of this. So basically what does this do is a high, but also we got another cold front coming. So what does that do? Does the high stay strong enough? Do we see a build? No, we kind of see a trough to come in and pull this out. But if that high got out ahead of it in the beginning and it doesn't get picked up, it'll be much closer. But likely it's going to go out to sea at this given point. The shear on this right now is pretty good on the upper level flow. And it does become even better environment. And especially once you start getting up here, very good outflow. And then, we get more of that subtropical ridge. Also, that wave that's coming off Africa has actually quite a bit of shear. So that doesn't help on it. Huh, very interesting. Tagged. Yeah, I agree. Also, I want to take a look at something else. We're watching that wave in the main development region. It does go through here and never really develops. But we're also watching something let's take a look, in the Western Atlantic here. There is a little bit of a area of low pressure that is low leveled. Dealing with shear currently, right near the Leeward and Western Antilles. But this wave will make it into the Bahamas here. Watch this. It goes through Puerto Rico, these islands, Dominican, and it goes in the Bahamas with a pretty good axis wave. To me, it's broad, but we do see a bit of vorticity right here that enters the Bahamas. And the model's been picking it up on the last few runs. I think the 12Z was stronger, though. A little bit actually more stretched out. It's been kind of showing. But actually this runs a little bit better on it. But it shows an area of low pressure that generally moves as an axis wave right into the Carolinas. But I'll like to see if anything happens with it. I do not believe so. But I'll like to wait and see on that. Because the Euro, it does show that wave also, but it never gets it to develop. What wave am I talking about is when we take a look at the Atlantic, is right here. This tropical wave right here. Pretty broad, very sheer at this point. I'm not too confident on that. Something to really watch. This is something I'm interested to on what happens here. Let's see. So it generally shows that northern side becoming more dominant, even on the 18Z Euro, and then it generally gets better environment, struggles. Also, a lot of precip into the Bahamas. Something to also add. We have 40 people watching. If you are not subscribed, hit that bell notification. Please like, please subscribe, and if you feel like donating, feel free to donate. It'll be very greatly appreciated. The Euro generally keeps it away from the Bahamas. I mean the Bermuda. It's very interesting because when we take a look here, yeah, it's still a major. It does, but I want to take a look at the last few runs here. Look, this was 12 yesterday, much closer, but the latest run has it closer to Bermuda. I like to keep a track if this becomes more of a trend, but definitely a hurricane on the Euro. Thank you guys for liking. We actually hit our goal. 21 likes. That's very greatly appreciated. Let's take a look at the... Yeah, there's definitely a high here that helps to push it. Kind of actually slows it down. Very interesting. And then it starts to break. And starts to move outwards. Interesting. So, if it's a little bit weaker, it could... That's interesting. AI model keeps it like that. Interesting right there. Canadian was very interesting. I don't know how much to believe it, but it did show that tropical wave to move from there into the Bahamas and actually become its own tropical storm. While this storm actually gets extremely close like the GFS also. And then it shows a broad tropical wave in the Gulf. I like to keep an eye on that. Also shows this other storm. Canadian's a little bit more hectic that I will not agree with at this given point. The icon likes this tropical wave generally to move west-northwest. So yeah, generally the models here. There is some. This is the 18Z. 12Z. Yeah, the latest... Okay. Interesting. Yeah, much more... Yeah, the latest 18's a little bit closer. I like to keep an eye on that. The GDM... Yeah, some scary positions here near Bermuda. This was 6Z. This is 12Z. Actually has it a lot more away. And then 18Z is about the same. Generally keeps this tropical wave away at this given point on the Euro AI model. So we'll have to watch that. These are a little bit more concerning, but still generally... I like to keep an eye on that. The hurricane models, let's take a look at that. So, this is the parent. Generally shows that northern side becoming dominant also. So, I guess that's the likely. And then it does struggle a bit, but stays as a tropical storm. And then once it starts going north of the islands, yeah, starts to get a little bit interesting here. 12Z at a full-blown major. 18Z does not. So it's something to keep an eye out on. Oh, the halves. Major also on this. Don't ever say that because it always could, but generally I do not think. Also, if you guys are new, please like and subscribe as we have almost 50 people here, and if you feel free to donate, feel free. Not asked, but just there as an option. Halves a... Definitely into a major hurricane here. Does show a little bit. Maybe something off the coast of the Carolinas. Yeah. I'm also looking at the wave behind it and stuff currently. Yeah. Thank you, Swimson. Was that your second? Thank you, Swimson. Show significant waves. Very greatly appreciated. Thank you for the $5 donation. Very greatly appreciate there. Also, let's just quickly go into the wave heights. That's a very good question. So, We're going to go through the wave heights. Let's go look for the waves. Sea surface. No. Let me quickly go out of here. The Gulf and Caribbean be a ticking time bomb. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys the wave heights. Very greatly appreciate by that. Significant wave height. So, as this storm enters on the GF, okay. So, this is very interesting. The wave heights also, even if this is far enough, look at that, you guys. Wave heights through the coastal areas of the Outer Banks and Bahamas. About up to 5 to 10 feet of wave heights. If you guys are right near Bermuda, and I will love to, we're going to look at a few other models. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. This is the wave height here. This is purple. That's up to 22 feet of wave heights. That's very significant. You guys, look at that. Let's just quickly take a look here. This is Bermuda in that black. We got up to 22 feet wave heights on the GFS as the core is right here. This is about probably 30 to even 40 right in here. This is about 22 feet wave heights. If you guys of Bermuda, if you guys are on the east side of Bermuda on the GFS, shows 22 feet wave heights. So pretty chaotic if you are going to be on the beach. Some major swells, probably even. Let's actually take a look at some impacts. This is the winds actually of Bermuda. This is wind gust, and we definitely see tropical storm force here in the red here, like I just marked Bermuda. We're also going to take, if it gets close enough, yeah, this is if you guys are in the green, this is generally wind gust of 40 to 50 miles an hour out of these rain bands. But for Bermuda on the latest GFS, generally has up to maybe even 60 mile an hour wind gust. And some of those tropical rain bands coming out of future Gabrielle. So, very interesting. So, it does get very alarming if this does get closer to Bermuda. Keep a big eye out because the total accumulations for rain also generally from this misses. I want to quickly take a look at the 24-hour precip. Yeah. Good news is generally about a half an inch of rain. Most of that foot rainfall just stays off the coast here as this storm makes its mark. But remember, this can change because the last run had it farther out. This is the Euro model, much farther out, and the wave heights. Let's say if the wave heights here also, with it being farther out, generally Bermuda, we're in the yellows here. Sorry about that. I did not mean to. Yeah, Bermuda is very built, but about 10 to maybe 12 feet of waves according to Euro. So it's much big difference. Canadian doesn't do wave heights. I like to keep an eye out on that. It's going to take time. I don't think the hurricane models does not either. So, is there any other questions would you guys like for me to take a look at as we are focused right now on this in the Atlantic? Is there anything else that is catching our eyes? I know the wave behind it. We're also watching that. Generally, it's pretty broad. Nothing too much. It's dealing with dry air. There is the tropical wave. There is convection blowing up. It's not as big as this tropical wave that was coming off. This is actually our third tropical wave coming off. That will be coming off in the next couple days. Remember, if you guys are new, please like and subscribe. Our goal is to 800 subs very soon. If you guys have not subbed, please. Interesting. Okay, is there any chance? Let's take a look at this. Crazy Games just asked, is there a chance of those waves could collide? They look like they are trying to merge. No. This wave, this is that second wave here that the National Hurricane Center popped out here. We'll look at the next question, but this is wave number 1. This is generally moving. It should be forming on its northern side, but these waves will not collide. They will not collide. Also, you can tell there's some pretty persistent dry air out ahead of it. Did you see the tropical storm-like conditions in North and South Carolina, Delaware? No, I did not, but that was a very interesting feature. That was an upper-level low. As they locals, they build wisely. They can buy hurricane-grade materials. That's good. So, Bermuda's pretty well prepared, but maybe not for a Category 4. That'll be definitely a little bit more, but it's a small island, so I bet they're very strongly prepared in worst case scenarios. By the way, the 0ZG icon's coming out. That's that tropical wave. GFS has it never really developing, kind of struggles here. But last time it had something, so very interesting stuff. Is there any other questions about this storm? Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I do not know. Okay, anything new? Nothing really. We're watching Void. We're currently watching the National Hurricane Center. We're watching this tropical wave. It does have a 10%. Some slow development is possible towards the latter part of the week. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. Also, we have a 90-90 elongated, but it's midway between the Windward and Leader Islands. I wouldn't say untouchable, but it's definitely there. Very interesting on the latest MJO, you guys, that I'm eyeing this too. As we get into October, I'm going to show you guys here. This is generally according to the... Okay. Let's just quickly go back in here. The MJO is pretty interesting. This is as of 16th. This is through the 18th. Let's go into... The MJO kind of moves like this in my pink. This is the 20th, 24th, 28th. This is already by... This is by September, but look at this. The 29th and 30th, it looks like we are heading right into phases 1 and 2. That could favor the gyre. And the latest models does have generally a more favorable period into phases 1 and 2. That could help the Atlantic. Very interesting Matt and Julie oscillation that was updated today. Let's go into the world. I want to just take a look at general. Yeah, nothing really about the Central American gyre right now. Just some showers, thunderstorms. The sign just keeps pushing it. We're just going to take a break from the gyre and just focus on the Atlantic. Generally, we're in a favorable environment for this wave right now. We will get into unfavorability by September 24th. But look at that. Looks like the GFS is also noticing the same thing. Yeah, it has been whacked. But look at that. The GFS, it looks like some favorability in the Eastern Pacific, but also the Bay of Campeche in the Atlantic here as we get into October. So just a little interesting that farther out, it does look like the MJO does become more favorable and more of a steady period. Because by October 1st, this is the Euro, and the Euro wants to kick full MJO right into the Atlantic in October. Do you think Florida has anything to worry about in the next 2 to 4 weeks? Nothing really right now. Nothing catches my eye majorly. Just keep an eye out. We can always see any weird thing. Also, we're 9 subs away, you guys. We are 9 subs away from 800. Like I said, if we hit 800, we will stay here for the overnight model of the GFS. Thank you guys for 24 likes. Very greatly appreciate that. But I need to quickly use the bathroom, get a snack. I will be right back with live coverage also on this. So give me 1 second, everybody. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Alright, welcome back, Weather Kingdom. I'm sorry, I know I lost some of the audience here. I'm back. Alright, welcome. Made some Cheetos. Yeah, very possible. I did not get a snack. I went to the bathroom and then I actually got some rice and fish. It was some leftovers of dinner that I never had because I was at work all day. Huh. Very interesting icon is actually a little bit farther to the north. Kind of has that low from the south circulating to the north. That's what... Oh, sorry about hitting the mic. Sorry about that. Hey, thank you, Swimson, again with the $5 donation. Very greatly appreciate it. You do not need to keep sending money. You really don't. You know, I feel bad. Thank you for the $5 donation. Hey, Ron Shelley, that's actually not a bad idea. A nice Pepsi, that's a really nice snack. Pepsi's really good. Thank you for the 3 donations, Swimsim. Very greatly appreciate that. You did not have to donate. Alright. Hey, you guys, let's make a new deal. Alright? I know the subscribers will come around then. But if we hit 2 more super chats, you guys don't even need to pay. Look, I'm not here for the money. I'm here to keep you guys updated. And track the tropics, even if we talk a little bit. I do not mind. If we hit the goal of 5 donations in the next 57 minutes, I probably won't be on that much longer. Depends on what I want. But if you guys want me to stay on, let's hit our goals. We already hit one big, massive goal. That was the likes. We hit 20 likes. I mean, if you guys want to hit super chats, we could do it. I have the goal as 5, but we don't have to. Let's just hit 800 subs. I'll be very greatly appreciated. I do not want you guys to think that I'm here for the money. I'm really not. I'm actually here to just kind of talk and get to know you guys more and just have fun. This southern side really interests me here. Oh, one more to go. Swimson, stop. Thank you for the $5 donation again. Thank you. Very greatly appreciate it. Oh! There's something else I want to show you guys. Is, if you guys, I know I really don't talk about this, but I want to take a look at the South, okay, no, it's not there. Where is it? West Pacific. I know some of my viewers like to talk about the West Pacific, so we're actually going to talk about the West Pacific for a little bit now. Hey, you ain't wrong about the I name Storm. Yeah, this Atlantic has been really goofy. You are right on that. Also, this is the West Pacific. Generally, this is our tropical wave. This will make landfall in China in the next couple of days. But this is the big one that I would like to keep an eye out here is we do get a major typhoon. According to the GFS, we do get a landfall in Taiwan, or just south of Taiwan into the islands. This does become a major typhoon here near Taiwan and China. The West Pacific has been active lately. That's something big. This been showing on a lot of models. If you look at the significant wave heights, look at that. Right into Taiwan here. Into these islands. This does become a major typhoon. You're looking at all along China up to 20-foot waves. But if you guys are right along Taiwan and these islands, you guys are talking about 40 plus feet of waves heights. Oh my! No! No, you did not have to. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for everybody. Major shout out to Swimson. One of our mod chats just sent $50. I feel so bad. I have to give you back the money, man. I have to give back some of the money. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I literally just turned my face and I see the 20 donate. Thank you so much, Swimson. We're gonna start another goal. Why not? Weather King just started. Thank you, Simpson. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Also, we're 2 subs away. We're gonna start another goal. Why not? Weather King just started. Thank you so much. Very greatly appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you. Also, we're 2 subs away. Good night, Tripper Prospect. Start another goal. No, no, no. No more sending money. Thank you. No, thank you. You guys rock. Words. Thank you so much. We are 2 subs away from 800. Let's do it tonight. Just tune in. What's happening tonight? Thank you so much. Very greatly appreciated. Basically, we're taking a look at the West Pacific right now. The Atlantic is relative quiet for this time of year. Invest 92L as of right now will be going out to sea. Could pose a threat to Bermuda, but we'll have to wait and see and watch it, as it's going to be a very interesting thing. Thank you so much. Wow. This is crazy. So let's go back into the Taiwan area. Look at the storm that hits Taiwan. Oh, wow. You guys, have you guys seen? Look at this typhoon that develops. Look at this storm. Holy crap. That is not good for Taiwan. If you guys are in Taiwan, I know we don't have any audience there. Tripper, if you have any questions, please let me know. I will feel free to answer. Thank you for the $50 donation. Yeah, I know. Look at that. Very crazy here. Good news is the euro is a little bit weaker, but it easily bombs us out also. It actually goes south into the southern portions of the Philippines, actually. And to these islands down here on the 18Z. So there is a little bit of a spread. When we take a look at West Pacific, I mean, this does become a major hurricane heading right into these islands, or at least a category 2. When the 12Z, oh wow, a little bit more north. Yeah, 950s. Wow, wow. Look at that, 938, a almost category 5 typhoon hitting right into southern portions of China. That's crazy. That's a strong typhoon, everybody. Yeah, no problem. I know, right? My question is this an invest? 90. Oh, there is an invest. 90 W West. Really? The HAFS A actually has the model here. Yeah, look at that. It definitely starts getting better organized, and wow. We are talking about a 9. Wow, look at that. This is. Look at that. 952 millibars. Just south of Taiwan, where the Euro is. We're talking about winds easily up to 130 miles an hour on the half state. That's a category 4. Thank you guys. We are 2 likes away from 30 likes. Let's take a look here. Wow. Oh, I'm looking at that. My bad. So half A is the... Huh. Alright. So this is 90 west. This is actually going to be that typhoon here. Oh, yep. Look at that, you guys. We are definitely going to be live on this, regardless you guys want it or not. We are going to be watching. We're actually going to be live on 90 West too. Even when we're talking about the storm here, we're going to be actually talking about this storm. There's a little shear to the north right now. Oh, let's go a little bit smaller. Look at this. This is definitely beginning its raw. Look at that. Very strong. Strong rotation right here. Coming right back. This is going to be strengthening pretty quick. Hey Triffer, by the way, I'm seeing the chat. You do not have to donate, but if you like to donate, click on the goal and it will let you donate money. Do you see my goal? I have a goal that ends in about 20 minutes. It's a super chat, and I think you could do it that way. Let me know if that helps you. Also, there is a money sign. So when you're looking at the chat, you know where the emojis are? Just to the side of it, there's a dollar sign with the S in it, and you just click. But this is that typhoon that's going to be a major issue for Taiwan. So we will be going live on this storm also. I'm pretty sure you guys will be interested on that. I want to take a look at some of the European ensembles. Let's go out into model. Other regions. Northern Europe. No. West Pacific. Yep. Let's look at the Western Pacific. Okay. Let's go in the next 132. Yeah. Look at that. That is alarming. That's alarming. Yeah, look at all these ensembles into easily 100 plus miles an hour of a typhoon. Wow, look at that. Major typhoon right there. Into the ensembles. Ooh. Oh. You guys? I don't even want to look at... Okay. Yup. This kind of went... Wow. The AI model wants this to become a pretty much Cat 5. Just wipe... Do you guys see this? We got a lot of 920s and 930s. This will be a major Category 5 typhoon. Good news is it's on the southern side, not hitting Taiwan, but something to really... Wow. Look at the forecast model. Look at that. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I just hit my mic pretty hard. Sorry if you guys hear a noise. That is... Wow. I was not expecting that. The GFS is always... This one's a little bit less, but still very, very powerful typhoon. Okay, good. Let's quickly take a look at the icon because we're going back and forth looking at models in the Atlantic. Okay. Okay. That second wave never gets really going anymore. Thank you, Nato Dude. Thank you. Very greatly appreciate that. We got 30 people watching, by the way, at 11:30 at night. Very greatly appreciate that. We are 2 subs away from the big 800. That'll be very greatly appreciated if we can hit that tonight. We're at 29 likes. We already hit our goal for tonight on that. Our second goal was... We actually hit 2 goals tonight. We only have 1 more, and that's the subscribers. Interesting. I want to see how the satellite looks tomorrow. There's definitely a lot of convection there. Thank you, Rainbow. Very interesting here when we're taking a look at this storm. Huh. It looks like the northern side is dying out. I would like to see what happens overnight as we wake up into tomorrow, especially tomorrow. I like to see the formation of this wave. Thank you, Trevor. Really appreciate it. Oh, what else? Oh, you guys? What is it? What did I... Oh, wow. Look at that. We got mountain snow beginning to show. Look at that. Huh. I know we are just jumping, but look at the west. We cooking with the 20s. Arctic blast. Arctic blast right here, you guys. Yeah. Look at that. That's pretty crazy. By October 1st. Looks like, yeah, the West is going to be in a major cooldown. I mean, I like to watch that because 12Z had it a little bit different. It also had a tropical storm hitting there. Thank you for the $10 donation. Thank you for that. Very greatly appreciate another donation. Another $10 donation tonight. Thank you. Very greatly appreciate that. We're currently just talking about the weather in general. We're waiting on the icon. We're just taking a look at the weather in general. Thank you for the dollar donation. Good night, Swimson. Very greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Very greatly appreciate. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you. It's 11:34 as of right now. Hurry up, icon. Thank you, thank you. 15, 20, 25. Wow. Swimson with Swimson tonight has sent $100. About $70 tonight to me. Thank you very much. Very greatly appreciate that. Trust me. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello, testing, testing. We're back. Can you guys hear me? By the way, thank you DTS for the donations yesterday. Also, very greatly appreciate it. Swimson and I came in with $70 and gave it. It was very greatly appreciated. You guys have been awesome and rocking. Can you guys hear me? Okay, let's take a look at the icon. By the way, thank you DTS for the donations yesterday. Also, very greatly appreciate it. Swimson and I came in with $70 and gave it. Alright. Huh. Very interesting. The icon likes more of a westward motion out of this. I'm not, oh, sorry, I keep moving my mic. Maybe that's why it's messing up, but likes that westward motion there. But it looks like it will be getting picked up by a cold front. It definitely could go more west. I would like to keep an eye out on. We're going to be tracking Invest 92L. Also another tropical wave. But what's interesting is it looks like to me currently we are getting a low-level center to develop a little bit more south. In my opinion. This is the latest takeaway of tonight. We're starting to notice less of a vorp max up here, where we're seeing more of a low-level center down here. That's a possibility with this tropical wave, in my opinion. That's very possible. You guys, we are one sub away from 799. Let's do it. That's in my opinion. I'll like to see how this looks tomorrow morning, but to me, that's what things are looking like lately. You guys, we are one sub away from 799. Let's do it. That's in my opinion. I'll like to see how this looks tomorrow morning, but are looking like lately. Huh. Oh my, the GFS comes out very soon also. So Icon actually keeps it strengthening. Yeah, it looks like Icon actually wants it to hit Bermuda direct on. Alright, let me fix that. We got 32 likes tonight. We surpassed our goal almost by 40. Very greatly appreciate that. Did I fix the mic? My opinion right now on this tropical wave is we have to see on how does it develop at this point. There is more convection to the southern side of this tropical wave than the northern. My interesting thing is, do we get a low-level center to develop up here? Do we get one that develops all the way down here? Is it more back in here? Is it more back over here? What about here? These are the spots where a low-level center can form. And it really, in my opinion, is wherever it does, it will be a very good question on what happens afterwards. Correct. Yeah, hey, you are right, D. Yeah, you are right, man. Yep, sometimes you have to take a loss. I mean, with the last Invest 91L, that was a surprise of shows. I am starting to get a little tired though. Huh. Just a little bit now. Starting to feel the tiredness. Alright, you guys can still hear me, don't worry. I'm very interested on the southern side of this, where the convection continues to implode. That's something that I want to keep my eyes out. We will be ending the stream in just a little bit, you guys. I am kind of... we kind of looked at everything here on this. It's kind of a wait and see now. The icon doesn't like any of the other ways to now develop. Really, just one storm. Yeah, I'm pretty tired now. I'm starting to get tired. Thank you. We hit it. A $1 donation by Sky Trevor BMWX. Very greatly appreciate it. A dollar donation. Thank you very much. I doubt it. I do not expect it to do that. It's going to go out to sea. Oh, wow, I'm tired. I'm very interested. I want to take a look at this. Yup. Thank you very much. We're going to be likely ending the stream as we have pretty much nailed everything we need to talk about for tonight. I would like to keep an eye on this. No, they are not sending recon anytime soon. It's going to have to get closer to the islands. Very interesting. GFS is starting to run now. Yeah, look at that. Latest GFS, a little bit more to the south here. I like to keep an eye on this. Still north then, alright. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, in my opinion. You guys